Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are completely immersing ourselves in an absolutely brilliant zero-to-hero story. We're breaking down a fascinating world where magic is literally the only recognized medicine. And we're going to see what happens when one absolute underdog discovers a lost art that changes, well, the whole shebang. We're going to track his incredible journey, his powers, and some massive plot twists. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. What actually happens when the worst magic healer in the world suddenly becomes its only surgeon? You see, our main guy, Raymond, starts his journey at absolute rock bottom. He was born an illegitimate prince in the Houston Kingdom, a bastard child treated like total garbage by pretty much everyone. For 5 long years, he's been stuck as an F-grade apprentice at the prestigious Belland Infirmary, relentlessly bullied and mocked because he has zero natural healing magic. He is utterly miserable. But right when he's about to be kicked to the curb, everything changes.
Boom! A blue RPG-style window suddenly materializes right in front of his eyes. It's the ultimate Manhwa-style plot twist, right? The system instantly downloads an entire encyclopedia of modern medical science directly into his brain. Just like that, he levels up as a grade SSS doctor. Although you've got to notice his title, Dirty Bastard. The system still has a bit of a sense of humor about its social standing. But suddenly, Raymond is armed with knowledge that literally no one else in this fantasy realm possesses.
Now, the core difference between these two disciplines is staggering. In the land of Lapentina, healing magic just artificially boosts a person's vitality. It's great for minor bumps and bruises, but it completely fails to heal severe structural damage or root-cause infections. Medical science, on the other hand, physically fixes the body. Raymond quickly realizes that with scalpels, sutures, and science, his new knowledge isn't just a fluke. No, it is completely overpowered in a world that only knows magic.
But, knowing how to do a surgery and actually cutting a person open are two very different things. To pull off his very first grueling laparotomy surgery with his fellow apprentice Hansen, Raymond relies heavily on this RPG-class skill, Heart of Steel. Because when the blood starts pooling and his hands start shaking with terror, this skill forcefully calms his heart rate. It gives him this unshakable, almost robotic focus to stitch up a perforated ulcer and save a dying man. Chapter 1. The Royal Banquet Trial. Surviving the King's Court.
So, this royal event is actually a trap set by his corrupt boss, Master Lance. He intentionally sends Raymond back to the traumatizing royal palace just to humiliate him on a national stage. But the system turns this trap into a high-stakes boss battle. Raymond gets a new quest to ensure no one dies. And man, he comes prepared. When his abusive brother, Prince Settle, tries to publicly humiliate him, Raymond activates a new skill called Facing the Boars. He gracefully outplays Settle with flawless medical logic, diagnosing the prince's rudeness as lethargy from severe alcoholism. It is a massive, incredibly satisfying mic drop moment.
But the real trial kicks off when Princess Sophia suddenly collapses. High-level magic completely fails to save her. Stepping up right in front of the king, the very father who abandoned him, Raymond executes a frantic, methodical sequence. He diagnoses immediate cardiac arrest, initiates manual CPR, and then, in a stroke of absolute genius, purchases electricus magic from the system to shock her heart back to life. He uses it like a human defibrillator. He literally brings her back from the dead.
And then you have to listen to his declaration to the king. He gives this wildly dramatic, selfless speech, acting like a perfect saint who only cares about human life. But in his head, he is absolutely desperate for cold hard cash, fancy steaks, and a life of luxury. This saintly act, however, is a strategic masterpiece. It secures him the highly coveted Royal Bringor Award and the king's official endorsement of medical science.
Chapter 2. Defying the Healing Tower. Forging a New Path.
Riding high on that royal momentum, Raymond demands a certification exam to become a recognized healer. But the corrupt judges at the Tower of Healing try to rig it. They try to fail him by assigning an incurable severe pressure ulcer. Raymond isn't having any of it, though. He uses the eloquence skill to brilliantly out-debate the examiners. He easily performs a surgical debridement and teaches the family basic patient rotation. And the results? Undeniable. The head tower doesn't know what on earth to do with a guy who uses zero magic but perfectly cures patients, so they literally invent a brand new rank just for him. Grade U, Undetermined.
If we track his meteoric rise over just 1 month, we see a pretty shocking plot twist. With top-tier capital infirmaries practically begging to hire him, Raymond rejects them all.
Instead, he takes out a massive loan and opens his own clinic in the lawless, impoverished Vey slums. You might be wondering, why on earth would he do that? Well, because the slums are the ultimate grinding zone. He needs endless patience to farm experience points, and Vey has them in spades.
Chapter 3. Miracles in the Slums. Earning the title Prince of Slums.
Welcome to the Vey slums, without a doubt the roughest part of the kingdom. Here, the entertainment district is suffering from a terrifying outbreak that everyone ominously calls the curse of God. The affected women are being treated like actual monsters. Raymond examines them and realizes it's not some divine curse at all, it's just syphilis. But his solution for curing it? That is what truly breaks the bounds of this fantasy world.
Since modern medicine ingredients are way too expensive, Raymond has to get creative. He gathers cheap, moldy bread, unlocks the system's alchemy skill, and literally extracts penicillin. I mean, he creates Lapentina's very first antibiotic. By applying this ointment, he completely cures the women, earning massive system rewards, the title Creator of Penicillin, and the absolute unwavering loyalty of the Vey slum residents.
And this brilliantly illustrates his next strategic masterclass. He officially takes his buddy Hansen as his first medical student, unlocking Foster Student Mode. What does that mean? It means every time Hansen treats a patient, Raymond gets a cut of the experience points. It's basically a genius passive income stream for his RPG stats, allowing him to level up at lightning speed.
But, as you know, success breeds enemies. Raymond's free and highly effective treatments are absolutely destroying the market for the corrupt, illegal healers operating in the slums. They try to extort him, demanding he raises prices to a massive extortion rate of 100 pina. But Raymond, backed by the powerful Count August, whose son he surgically saved earlier, completely shuts them down. Raymond's influence in the slums quickly becomes legendary. When the corrupt healers trick a massive bear man named Kinnear, head of the local Blue Moon Guild, into attacking the clinic, Raymond completely diffuses the situation. How? By diagnosing and surgically fixing Kinnear's chronic hemorrhoids. He also stops a town-wide panic by proving a suspected smallpox outbreak is actually just chickenpox. Through all of this, he officially earns the title Helper of the Poor, gaining absolute protection from Kinnear's guild. Now the stakes reach a boiling point when King Odin, visiting the slums in disguise, is attacked and poisoned by an assassin's neurotoxin. Facing immediate arm amputation, he stumbles right into Raymond's clinic. Unfazed by the king's terrifying aura, thanks of course to his heart of steel skill, Raymond casually pulls out a dwarf-made syringe. That's a terrifying alien object in this world, by the way. He injects antivenom directly into the king's bloodstream, saving him instantly. And boldly, he demands a hefty cash payment for his services.
For anyone who has ever grinded in an RPG, you know exactly how satisfying this moment is. All of this hard work pays off, and Raymond rapidly hits level 29. He is inching incredibly close to level 40, which is the massive milestone required to officially upgrade his occupational class from a novice resident. The dream of immense wealth and global recognition is finally within his grasp.
Chapter 4. The Guildmaster Cliffhanger. Walking into the Lion's Den.
But every hero's journey hits a terrifying roadblock, right? Enter the violent Dark Blade Guild. They are actively plotting to kill Raymond because his medical heroics are severely ruining their criminal extortion operations in the slums. Raymond receives a warning to flee, but instead of running away, he does the unthinkable. He uses a rare temporary level enhancer on his Heart of Steel skill to completely wipe out his human fear. Then he marches straight out of his clinic, totally alone, and walks directly into the Dark Blade Guild's heavily armed headquarters.
He walks right up to the murderous guildmaster and drops this shocking quote. He bows and offers his absolute loyalty, playing the part of a terrified, submissive healer desperate for a powerful boss. He completely catches the bloodthirsty gang off guard, weaving a brilliant web of deception to infiltrate them from the inside.
Which brings us to our final question for this explainer. Raymond is unarmed, surrounded by killers, and relying purely on his upgraded stats and medical cunning. Will this insane gamble cost him his life? Or is this all part of a surgical master plan, where the Shadow Prince has already won the war before the first drop of blood is even spilled? That is exactly where the story leaves us hanging, absolutely desperate for more. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer, and keep your curiosity sharp.